think the main problem is education. Education's all type of fucked. Throughout the entire world, like just looking at a lot of third world countries and things like that, basically people don't even go to school for the most part unless you have money. Like you got to, a lot of these countries you got to pay to go to school. A lot of people don't have money, so they can't even go to school to begin with, and then they're kind of stuck in their space, and it's a very cyclical issue.
Well, this will bring us right into our topic. If you could do so, how would you change the world?
Make all these barbers get along, dude.
Yeah, that shit would save everybody a lot of stress.
Free barber cuts for every man and woman. Free salons, free barbers.
So how
Nobody
are
has
they
to
getting
pay.
paid? How are they getting
By the
paid?
government.
By the government.
Oh, tax dollars. Perfect.
So yeah, we're socializing barbering.
Hey, I think a UBI would be a good idea.
What's a UBI?
Universal Basic Income. It is a guaranteed amount of money that you get every month from the government.
Communism.
It's the Yang Bucks.
This
It
nigga
is-
said communist.
It is the Yang Bucks. There's a lot of futurists that have theorized that eventually a UBI it will happen. It's not an if. It will happen because we're automating so many tasks and so many jobs. Eventually, so much of the workforce is just not going to be able to find work. Jobs are just not going to exist. Dummies like me and Pucho that got into the tech industry will still be working because we're dummies and someone's going to have to fix this shit and program this shit. But a lot of other jobs just not going to exist, and a UBI is going to become a fact of life. It's going to be required.
Yeah, they've been saying for a long time that my job of concierge doorman, they're like, yo, you guys are fucking out of here. I mean, I don't know how, you know what I mean? They're going to work that out, but it's kind of the truth. You know what I mean?
I mean, I can see that happen.
Oh, Tony will still have work too. He's a mechanic. We'll need people fixing shit that breaks. Dowie will have to become a bartender because you can't replace a bartender with a robot. You need that human interaction.
I don't know. You get that perfect pour.
I think you need that human interaction. I think that's the whole point of the bartending.
I think that's still what saves the concierge, because I feel like in reality, like, is there a need for someone to greet you? It's like probably there's not really a need, but it's nice. People like it, and that's people. If you got money and you desire something like that, it's gonna come into existence. Like,
there's also security aspects, and with a big lobby, how do you determine who's coming in, who's not, who lives there, who doesn't, stuff like that, packages incoming. You just have to have a whole setup for that before you end. None of these buildings are ready for that shit.
Elon Musk is dropping that Tesla robot.
Yeah, but the Tesla robot's got a weak ass deadlift, man. That robot's bullshit.
I don't know, man. This might be like a Will Smith iRobot, one of his classic movies.
That robot only deadlifts 150. You can't respect that robot.
I'm ready to have some robots around.
You want robot sex?
He wants robot sex.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that, but that's definitely an upside of robots.
Well, they can't complain. You just put them away back into their corner.
Robot sex, yeah, with dookie smeared on their face. I'm like, all right, go back in the closet.
Whoa.
Yo, cancel your subscription to Pornhub, bro. You're looking at some weird shit. But back to the topic. What would you guys fucking change?
They're talking about UBI, Universal Basic Income.
We were on.
One thing though that I found interesting is I used to subscribe to the thought that like eventually there will be no jobs, and maybe that is the truth, but I wonder sometimes how far from that we really are. Like, I feel like every time we've had like these big like technological advancements, everybody was like, oh man, that's it, like this is the end, that's it, technology's so advanced, like, but it turns out that all this new technology creates a lot of opportunities as well. Like just the idea of like a car existing produces like truckers being the most common job in America is being a trucker. Like that's the job most Americans have. Well, sorry, not most Americans have it, but it's the biggest number of jobs in the country are truckers, and it's just because vehicles exist. So it's like prior to a vehicle existing, everybody was like, oh man, they're making cars. Like, what are these horses? Or like, now we can't use these horses or these carriages. What are they going to do? And all this stuff. And it's like, literally, we created, like, now we transport goods from one side of the country to the other side of the country all the time because it's possible now. So, like, I wonder, like, every time these advancements of technology occur, like, what are going to be like the new ways that we use that technology that we aren't able to foresee right away, Like when we thought of the internet, nobody thought of Twitch and shit like that existing. Like, when we were just happy to fucking chat with people and stuff like that. So I don't know. I do think at some point, like, technology is going to be so advanced that some people don't have to work. But I wonder how far out from that we really are.
It depends on when we hit the singularity, right? The singularity is that point where like the AI machine learning shit becomes so advanced that it can produce enhancements and things at a rate faster than humans can, right? I think that's the basic definition of it. There's a lot more intricacies to it. I've got a book on the singularity back there. I haven't read that book in a minute.
So basically it's like a task for like an emulator to like find the fastest routes and the fastest gameplay types, but just for like real life.
Yeah, essentially, like it's a computer that is so smart and so capable of learning that it can improve itself, and it can improve itself faster than humans can improve itself. So it just becomes technology just gets this spike. That's called the singularity. Is this advancement spike in technology is just shoots straight up, and that's the point where we like a lot of jobs start becoming pointless and useless, and that's supposed to be the technological like jump. But I have no idea how close we are to that. I mean, technology has advanced a lot. You look back at like 80s technology, 50s technology to here, and then look at the previous thousands of years of human existence. Our technology is happening at an accelerated rate.
And that's
a spike for all intents and purposes. If you take our timeline of existence to now, and then track like however you're going to track the technology, because I mean there's a lot of booms throughout history, like agriculture, aqueducts, like fucking wells and drainage, like all this stuff is actually super advanced, like technology that people lived for millions of years without, but
that's where Skynet starts kicking in and realizing that, oh, humans are the cause of everything. Eliminate all humans. And then we're all dying one by one, and I become John Connor and I try to save the world. Shit's crazy out here.
Like, so you're gonna wake up one day and bam, are you gonna look like John? Like, how do you become John Connor?
I'm gonna have all his skill sets. I'm gonna be me.
Even his name? Wait, you're gonna be you?
I'm gonna be me, but I'm gonna have his skill sets. They might call me Caballo Connor. Double C.
I watched Terminator 2 this week.
Is that your favorite?
Probably, yeah. Probably. The first Terminator's so good. It's so amazing, but I think Terminator 2 has a little bit more heart, and I like the little bit of like heart that it tosses into there. But I've got a question. I've got a question about T2, and it's a ridiculous question, but I think it fits right on.
I like it.
I tweeted about it, and I didn't get an answer. Why does the T800 have a penis? And I know that he has a penis. I've got proof, because when he walks into that bar, women are checking him out and they're looking him up and down. No one is screaming, "Oh my God, why are you smooth like a Ken doll?" or anything like that. They're checking out this guy. So obviously he's got a penis. What purpose was there for them to make a penis on the T800?
So the Terminator's job is to disguise and assimilate.
To blend in.
But what situation would he be assimilating where he's naked?
They're making it as realistic.
The time machines, they can't take any type of clothing for whatever reason. Only organic matter makes it through.
Oh.
So that's why they have to go through naked. Even in the very first movie, when Kyle Reese shows up, he's butt booty naked. He runs into the clothing store, steals a pair. What he steals? Air Forces? Dunks?
I think it was Dunks.
He takes a pair of Nikes and puts it to his foot, like to check the size. It's an iconic scene. That shit is fire.
I remember that. Yeah.
But even in that movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger has a dick. He runs up on the guys, he fucks them up, and he steals their clothes.
Yep.
And they were not fucking weirded out that he had a fucking smooth Ken doll crotch. He definitely had a big boy cock swing, and Terminator cock. He had to have. They were intimidated.
Yeah,
And Arnie's a big guy. He's intimidating off rip, but he's a Terminator, so you gotta have a Terminator dick, like just in case.
It does take a special kind of confidence to be completely naked and threaten like 3 dudes. You're gonna beat the shit out of them. Like that.
I wouldn't want to fight a naked guy.
That is a man that is not afraid of anything. If you are willing to fight naked against 3 people, there's no fear. There's nothing in this life that is gonna faze you.
Yeah, you're either a crackhead or you're fucking like you got the skill sets of Bruce Lee or Jet Li, all these motherfucking Lees, and then you're getting your ass kicked.
Getting your ass kicked by a naked man, that is a sight for sore eyes. Could you imagine him putting you in some type of headlock and then that shit just swinging on your back?
He's got your head and he's bringing it close to your crotch, and it's like you're fucking troubled. You're like fucking choking to death, but also you don't want a cock in your face, so you're like, like
I'd start biting. I'd start biting. No, it's whatever I can bite. Because I'm close to skin. Break that skin.
The man's right. Like that, you gotta like. Okay, now we're super off tangent.
I mean, we're talking about how the world can be changed
Yaga.
through certain self-defense techniques against naked people. This isn't a problem that has occurred yet, but maybe when people stop working, once the UBI is kicking in, maybe you're just gonna have a whole bunch of naked people walking around and threatening people with their life. You never know. That's all I'm saying.
How would you change the world, Pooch?
All right. I feel like the world is a little bit too big of a scope in my mind. But I think the main problem is education. Education's all type of fucked. Throughout the entire world, like just looking at a lot of third world countries and things like that, basically people don't even go to school for the most part unless you have money. Like you got to, a lot of these countries you got to pay to go to school. A lot of people don't have money, so they can't even go to school to begin with, and then they're kind of stuck in their space, and it's a very cyclical issue. In America, it's not much different either. Like we have public school, but the way public schools get their funding in most states is through property taxes. So if you live in a rich neighborhood, the taxes are higher because the values of the homes are higher, and thus the schools around that region get a lot more money. That means they could afford laptops and iPads and all types of shit. If you live in a poor neighborhood, the property taxes aren't so high, so you got schools that don't have a good budget. Mm-hmm. So basically, it just means that if you're born poor in a poor neighborhood, you're gonna go to a poor school, you're gonna get a poor education, and more likely than not, you're gonna stay poor. I personally feel like that education, both around the world, but namely, I don't know the details too much around every fucking country or whatever. But in America, I feel like the education system, I mean, I personally think that it should just, I don't know, either even, or there should be, a bigger redistribution of funds. Like maybe some schools don't need like a crazy, maybe, we could take all those 10 out of 10 schools, make them 9 out of 10 to bring up all these lower schools to be like, more passable or whatever. Like something like that needs to happen because the way it's just not fair, and it's just producing like, cyclical problems.
So you want to distribute the wealth evenly through the school system so better education is readily available for everyone.
Yeah.
I like that. That's pretty good because education is key for the future.
Absolutely. Most important thing.
You know what I mean? That's that's a fucking good one, Pooch. Shit, I like that one. I mean, because at the end of the
too, if you look at like the impacts of having like a bad education, it's just like people like you go to like it's just crazy. If you look into how like multifaceted all these problems are, it's like the level of education just alone, that thing, you could predict so many outcomes, which is why I don't really believe in, there's a lot of people that talk all this like, personal choices and all these, to me, it's just a lot of bullshit, in my opinion.
Personal choices as what?
Like I think people are more predictable than you think. So I think if X thing happens to you, you're going to do Y thing 99 times out of 100. It's possible you do something different, but the likelihood is you're always going to end up doing the same thing. And so for that reason, I think why when you look at poor neighborhoods, they have a certain set of problems that are pretty common to a lot of poor neighborhoods. Crime,
Crime.
violence.
Well, I mean, crime's an economic issue. Like,
Yeah.
that's the root of it. Is crime is an economic issue.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Well-
I think if you could fix the education, you could fix the economics around poor people. Then you fix their living conditions, and it'll fix their children. You know, then they're gonna have children that get to grow up in a better situation than they grew up, and their outcomes should be better.
Maybe
On average, of course, you know, it's not going to be that case for everybody, but
maybe people wouldn't be trusting in getting their science from people in MAGA hats yelling into cameras instead of healthcare professionals, and we wouldn't be in the midst of I don't even know which wave of the pandemic this is at this point.
yeah, it's like the third or fourth wave. It really sucks too because it's insane that people don't want to get vaccinated. I find this shit absolutely baffling.
Mm-hmm.
Like basically we're not going to reach herd immunity, so we're going to hit like waning immunity, which means that the virus is going to go away for like 9 months, 12 months, 18 months. It's going to come back and kill a couple, you know, tens of thousands of people. Then it's going to go away, and that cycle is going to keep repeating because not enough people want to get vaccinated.
Yep.
So
we got a new flu now, basically. Remember all these dummies? They said it's just the flu, and they made it happen.
Yep.
I guess they were right after all. They turned it into the flu.
It's really fucked up. And I think it has something to do with the way that you say humans are predictable. And I feel like if you give somebody an excuse to not do something, they'll fucking latch onto that so fucking quickly. Because human beings, I don't know, we're not that productive sometimes in that manner. I know some very educated people saying some very stupid things on the internet. I'm like, whoa. It's made me not like a lot of people. Just a lot of people. I'm like, ooh, you're a dummy. Like, you're stupid. I just it's icky. It's just so sad.
What are these fucking
into like a
words?
second grader?
Icky, ooey, gooey. My bad.
What'd you say? The
Enhancement
dummies?
feels attacked.
You're a dummy.
You're a dummy wummy. You're icky wicky.
Icky wicky. Okay.
Anyways, sad. It's sad how fucking misinformed some people are, and they just are cool with it.
What about you, Doe? What would you want to change?
I mean, personally, I think for me, for my own issues and my stuff like that, I just think as far as healthcare goes, Medicare, insurance, stuff like that, I don't think any of that should be on anyone to pay. Universal healthcare, that shit is sanctioned by the government, or find some way to get people help who need help. I think that a lot of the funds should go into different ways of helping either drug addicts or mentally ill people figure out a lifestyle and a way of life, whether that be like a nursing home for mentally ill people so that they can still be capable, but there's ways for them to live, because you know what I mean? It's just, we got to figure this shit out. It's becoming too much of an issue. And I don't think charging people for shit and making this capital based, I don't know if it's a good thing to make the people that are supposed to save your lives care about how much money you have in your pocket and what your money can do for their hospital and this and that. Like the fact that some people who need really bad transplants very badly and are gonna die, the people who have more money in that case usually get the transplants first, because you can make a charitable donation to the hospital, and that charitable donation will push you up on the list.
Huh.
Yeah.
And it's like a fact that this happens a lot.
I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, I didn't have no idea.
You can
I've
make
heard of
it.
it, but I don't know how true it is. I've heard of it. I just never know how true it is.
Yeah.
I've heard of this shit, right? People say it, but
Okay, I've heard people say this. I'm saying I've never read that this is a actual thing.
I've also never gone to look to read if it's an actual thing or not, though.
Correct.
So
Yeah. So
it just feels like this would be like an insane, like people threw a huge fucking shit show because some people, surprise, surprise, are able to pay their way into college. Like that was the whole thing that people lost money, got sued over, and all that. Like this is like people's. I feel like this would be like a massive fucking story. But sorry, again, keep going, Doy. I'm not.
It's more normal than you think. It's more normalized than you think. It's something that has been happening for a long time. And yeah, I think that aspect should be free. I think there's a lot of things. I think that there's things that I think women's feminine products should just be free. I think there's a lot of things in life that should either be subsidized or just free, flat out free.
So how do people get paid? How do the doctors and nurses, people who've paid for college to get the degrees and shit, how do they get paid? So they can live?
The same way the military gets paid trillions of dollars a year, the government.
I mean, the taxpayers.
Yeah, take $1 trillion away from fucking the military and just put it into hospitals. Build more hospitals.
And Medicare for All would not necessarily say that there wouldn't be like bougie specialty doctors or anything like that. I don't think. I think that I've heard like that that there's the capacity for those systems to like still exist for like crazy rich people procedures that aren't actually like medically important procedures.
You know what that means? Fucking plastic surgery would be fucking free too. Ooh, that would be sexy. Me all plastic surgeryed out.
What would you change? What would
cock enhancement right away? Cock enhancement, breaking my shins. Shins are gonna get broken. I'm gonna get taller in this bitch. Sorry guys, y'all gonna have to look up to me. What else? What else can I do? You know,
can
maybe
make your pigmentation redder, right? You're into that.
Oh yeah, I definitely want that Rosie Perez, that rosy skin, rosy cheeks. I don't know, you know, maybe hair transplant. Get some of these pubes on the back of my head.
Okay. So Tony, what would you change? What change would you make?
I do. Sorry, before we move on to the next like idea, I do think I wouldn't go so far personally to say like all type of medical procedures would be free, but I feel like there's like I'm actually on board mostly with what Doe was saying. This is basically like you have elastic goods and inelastic goods. Like there's things that people need no matter what, no matter how expensive it gets. Like they just have to have it no matter what. Like that would be like an inelastic good. Whereas like if the Foamposites, sneakers or whatever went up in price times 5, it's like, well, people would just stop buying them because, a lot of people just wouldn't be able to afford no more. And it wouldn't really change life for pretty much anybody, right? And that's like an elastic good. I feel like all those inelastics, the necessities, I think you could make a strong case that they should be fray.
Yeah, and like
so even so far as like people, like a basic level of like food, where you're getting like some number of veggies, meats, like some kind of balanced diet or whatever, right? Like that, water, all the basic things that everybody needs, like they should be free. Like even like Doy's saying, like the medical procedures, like anything that's like a necessity, yeah, it probably should be free. Like you don't want people to be like dying because they can't fucking get medical care,
Mm-hmm.
Or going into stupid debt, which I mean, people in America, it doesn't happen too much where people can't get the care. It's really that they don't get the care because they can't afford it, which is
and the mentally ill or housing for mentally ill, because a lot of super mentally ill people are homeless and shit like that. So I think those two things go hand in hand. You know what I mean? Some sort of housing, some sort of a way of living for them. I don't know what that is, but I think if we don't try to do something, we'll never fucking know. And we'll keep using that excuse of like, oh, they're there for a reason.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, the housing situation is fucked.
And then we won't have people like Tony making people tap dance for a fucking change on the highway exits.
Wow. Just because I'm supplying people with money for their time, I'm a puppet master. I'm making these people do shit. Fuck out of here. You want to stand in the corner all day long? Cool. Be my guest. Want my money? Show me a magic trick. Do something. I don't care. I'll give you money. It's my money. I can do what I want with my money. And so for me,
I thought he was
what
going
I
to
would change.
I thought he was going to call himself a job maker.
The government. I would want to change the whole government system around 100%. Like
Damn.
get rid of this Democrat bullshit, get rid of this fucking Republican bullshit, get rid of this fucking liberal bullshit, get rid of all these bullshits.
The lib cucks?
And one fucking united front.
Communism?
Get rid of all these money hungry backdoor paying motherfuckers, all these political fucks that are fucking views are all fucked up and they're money hungry. Get rid of all of them. Clean house. One system where it's clean cut across the board, and we don't got to worry about people doing favors for favors or hiding shit and blackmailing other people so they can't do right for the people.
I'm kind of on board with this. He'd say he wants to get rid of lobbyists, it seems like.
I'm down for that.
I think that an actual true democracy would be cool. So we get rid of this electoral college nonsense and it's just you vote and the person with the most votes fucking wins. I think that'd be
like
cool.
For presidency?
Mm-hmm.
But there can only be one true leader.
Oh, well, I guess we're doing a dictatorship. What? I'm off board
like
now.
I was trying to see if you guys would agree. I was trying to see if you guys can agree with my dictatorship. I would be the true leader.
No, I think what you're saying is nice. Like it would be nice if that could exist, but it's like, how do you do it?
Make lobbying
like even
illegal.
You saying get rid of all this Democrat and Republican bullshit. It's like the Democrats and Republican, they're not the government.
No, but I'm saying like the government. In the government, there are
people who subscribe to beliefs.
Let's get rid of all these beliefs, right? And the way to get rid of it is clean house, one by one by one. Go through each department and cleanse it. And everybody needs to pick for the right of the people, not what they feel like is good, not put their own views or interests in it because they're going to get a kick or anything like that. That's how it's being run right now. Clean cut. Let's fix shit that's really need to be fixed, and let's keep it. You know what I'm saying? Neutral. Don't put your own beliefs into it. Don't put religion into it. What is right, it was right. What's wrong, it's wrong. I get it, and it's really impractical. I don't think that would ever happen. But
I'm on board with a lot of this. You got me with like getting rid of the electoral college system, making lobbying illegal, taking church completely out of the fucking government.
Absolutely.
Churches should pay taxes. There's my hot take.
Absolutely. Fuck yeah. Right here. Fucking give my school some money. Give my local school some money. No, man. It's unfortunate. Very quickly, gonna say this. A lot of people are gonna hate me for it. Churches are like a vacuum to bad neighborhoods, and they just suck all the finances out of people's fucking pockets.
100%.
They're in all the poor areas like liquor stores are, and they feed off of poor people, and that they're literally off the backs of poor people.
Damn, so. you got pawn shops, liquor stores, gun shops, and then the church right next door.
Yep.
That not gonna lie, that's a couple. Yeah, that shit is actually like that for real. Some spots, just all in one street, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah, man. I think the government needs to be brought down, fixed, rebuilt correctly.
We're gonna get kicked off YouTube if someone clips just that first part of that statement. I think the government needs to be brought down
and rebuilt. Like it's crazy, bro. I mean, you got a lot of people in government that have some really crazy views, and they rub elbows with other people, and it's just, bro. There's a lot of things that these fuckers do behind doors that we don't know shit about that affects us majorly. Any decision, any government decision, any warfare. This is all in government, bro. All these people, they think our votes count. Yeah, our votes count to a certain degree, but them boys are the puppet masters. There's somebody in the government that runs the government.
Oh my God. All right.
Yeah, you don't like to hear that shit,
No,
Pooch,
no,
because
no,
you're
no.
a capitalist.
Because
You
it goes-
had me at your other comment that already I'm not a fan of it, but then what you're talking about the fucking Patriots? Like this is Metal Gear. Like there's a committee of people that actually run stuff.
The la low.
Nah, Tony, don't say that to people. All right, look, your vote counts, and it's the most important thing that you
your vote
do as an
counts.
American. You
Yeah.
literally just said your vote counts.
You
Sort
can hit the
of.
rewind. Hit the rewind. I said your vote counts, but there's people leading those people that you're picking to vote.
Go out and vote. Because I would say to piggyback, if you want all these changes, or if you want something close to all this, a way to achieve this, right? Because that's the part that I'm most curious about. Because you're saying all the stuff that you want, not how you would change, anything, right? I think compulsory voting, basically forcing everybody to vote. Have like a voting day and force everybody to go and vote.
But that'd be shitty too, because then people won't do the research to who to
Don't
vote for.
matter.
They'll just that's beast.
matter.
That you'll get a lot of stupid votes like that.
Doesn't matter.
We
Why
get
does
a
that
lot of-
matter?
we get a lot of
That's the way
stupid
they
votes
vote.
right
And
now.
they're still not fixing it. That's not
No, it
fixing
would
the
be fixing
issue.
it because everybody will go and vote, and then everybody would. It doesn't matter. They're gonna pick someone. Who they pick wins. That's what matters.
So
Why do you
if
care
everybody-
how? Like you don't care how people spend their money. Why do you care how people vote? Let them vote the way that they're gonna vote.
Because that their money spending is not affecting me. The
It
way they're
is
voting
actually.
is going to affect me.
Yeah, but it affects you right now. People are already voting for things that are against your interests.
Some people say that how you spend your money is the only thing that matters. Like that's what causes the most change in the world is what companies and what things you choose to support financially.
Put it like this: if Pucho's idea, right? Like everybody's forced to vote. Okay, cool.
Australia does that.
So
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
think people should be given that day off and everybody has to go vote.
Yep.
That sounds good to me.
If you
But-
don't go vote, tax the living shit out of them.
Yep.
into
Fines.
voting.
I thought Doe was
Fines.
going to say that everyone should have bicycles and we should get rid of all cars.
That'll be a vote.
I thought
Put
that's how
by
he was
me.
going to change the world.
Yeah, we're changing the world one bicycle at a time. But listen, if you don't want to ride a fucking bicycle, don't ride a bicycle. Just respect people and their choices.
All right, we're on a bike.
We're
we're not going on a
back to
bike. rant.
bike wars again. I thought we ended at like 17 episodes ago. All I'm saying is, Pucho, based off your idea, that shit is ridiculous.
Why do you think
And
it's good?
Because you're just making people vote, and people are just going to go with the tide. People are going to go with the current. They're not
And
going to
that's
do their
fine.
own research. Right now, the only people that are voting are people who are somewhat doing their own research, somewhat better than being forced to. You're going to have some Joe Smo go be forced to vote on this day. He's going to be like, hey, yo, who do you voted for? All right, bet. Vote. And then, like, that's just
But
countless
they
votes.
picked it. That all that matters. Everybody in America. You're saying that you don't even realize how hot your take is. You're saying that only certain people should be allowed to vote. That's really what you're saying.
No.
Yes.
People who, anybody should vote. Everybody should vote.
Okay.
But
That's my law.
everybody
That's my
shouldn't be,
rule.
No, you're saying everybody should be forced to vote.
Yeah. Everybody has to vote.
No, I don't.
You're saying if you
don't,
don't do your research, you shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that if you force people to vote, right? You're forcing people to vote. They're not going to do the research. They're just going to vote blindly. What some people do now, right?
Yes, they're
Some
right.
people do that. Yeah. But you're not forcing them. So the people who ain't voting, yeah, they're about as useless as a fucking seagull in the desert. Cool. Useless fucks out there, right? Bet. But you forcing them to vote now? What's going to happen? You're going to have a vote that shouldn't even be there that would change the tide of a whole entire thing.
Wait, pause. I want to go back to this useless as a seagull in the desert thing that you drop so casually like it's just a thing that people say.
A seagull belongs in the sea. If it's in the desert, that's a useless fucking bird now in the desert. Because it's not a seagull. It's a fucking regular bird.
It's a sand gull.
Sand gull. Yeah. Put that on the fucking in the short cast. All I'm saying is it's just useless, bro. Right?
I think it's useful.
Useful,
See,
useless.
Right now in this country, what happens is like 50% of the country goes out and votes, or like 40 something percent, right? How do you know who anybody really wants as president if everybody doesn't participate. Like, there'll be no complaints. If everybody goes out and votes and say Trump wins the election, it's like, dude, that's the person that most people wanted. Granted, there's still some intricacies with the electoral college that kind of swings things in, some slight direction, but it would be the biggest impact. It's just if everybody went out and voted, there'd be little to no complaints. So it doesn't matter it doesn't matter how much research anybody does. They chose it. That's their right. That they have a right to go out and choose whoever the fuck they want.
I think a better way to go out, and I would agree with you on this part. For yes, everybody needs to go vote on this day, but at the same time, everybody needs to do a research before, like, make a website where they say, like, who you want to choose. This is their ideas. These are their views. And make them read it before they fucking answer and see if they agree or align themselves with that view. Just don't hit a button to go vote. That's different.
No. I think they could protest vote, though. Like, that's fine. They could go in and write in Harambe if they want. That's cool.
That's fucking stupid.
What you're suggesting is what they used to do to black people. Like, they used to make them almost take like a political test before they allowed them to vote.
Yeah, I think there were literacy tests and shit like that they would make them take.
Not really. I just want them to have the information. I want the information there on the screen for them so they can be like, dude, my views align with this shit. That's it. And then, mind you, also, we're forgetting a big thing here. It's not just voting for the president either. Do your fucking local state voting as well. Those are key things. The governor, shit, like all those shits are fucking important. That's probably more important than almost doing the president shit.
It is.
So, you know what I mean? Like that. An agreement to making people force them to vote, sure, but let's put it on the screen for them. This is all his views and what he's trying to bring to the table. This is this person's views of what they're trying to bring to the table. What aligns with you? What do you agree with? And vote from there.
I would be on board with that if there were actual, like, nonpartisan way to go about doing that. But people are flawed and we suck. And I don't know that we have the ability to do a nonpartisan list of actual viewpoints. And politicians lie. It's what they do. And I mean, you can look at damn near any politician and you can find conflicting statements during their campaign runs.
Yeah, but the beauty of everybody voting is that who cares if the politician lied if people vote for him in? Like, it doesn't matter. Like Trump said some of the worst shit in the world and he got elected president. Like, the people picked him. Like, it's sad. Us people that didn't want Trump to win, we were upset, but it's the rules of the game. Like, he won the game. Like, the game was set up. We all knew the rules. We all participated. He won. Mm-hmm. And it sucks. But at the end of the day, does it matter that the grab him by the pussy guy won? Does it really matter, like, in the sense of, like, that he said that, so he shouldn't have won? Or it's like, I mean, the only way you could change is to go out and vote. And if he wins, then he won. Like, that's it. That's just the way it plays out. And it sucks, but what the fuck could you do? You could change the rules, but that would suck too. It would be way worse.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally think make everybody vote. And you'll get a lot of the things that you're asking about. All these guys that get caught lying, I think a lot of people vote them out. The reason they don't get voted out is because the people who vote right now is in their best interest for those people to be around.
And young people don't vote.
Young people don't vote.
Actually, young people voted a lot.
It's still pretty small. Like, it was a record percentage of young people voting in the last two elections, I think, but it was still fucking low. Like, 60-plus-year-old people blow them out of water every goddamn time.
Yeah,
that's why I can't wait for those people to hit the fucking kick the bucket. Then we're gonna be in this bitch and we're gonna be making the decisions.
I'm calling you out, Zoomers. Go vote. Stop not voting, you dicks.
Yeah, it's because people say shit like your vote doesn't matter, it doesn't count. There's people running the government anyway. Is that people say shit like that?
It's those dead ass Tony. It's those elitist talks. Oh, we can't control anything because the people at the top.
Ain't about elitist. It's what is factual and what is actual.
You're giving a people a way out. You're giving.
I'm not giving nobody anything.
Matter.
I'm not giving nobody shit. It matters. Your vote does matter. I'm just saying the two options they give you, those fucks are being controlled.
You're giving way more than two options.
Go
Vote in
vote,
the
people.
primaries. There's like a dozen people to pick.
Y'all motherfuckers need to vote. Go and fucking vote. If you want change, you are the change that must change shit.
I got
I was
two,
going somewhere with that, but
I got two more changes before we swap topics, because I feel like we're probably.
I got one too.
I was about to swap that shit.
We'll do quick. No discussion ones. Maybe super minimal discussion. First off, birth control should be free. Like condoms should be subsidized by the government in some amount for young people, maybe under 18, maybe under 25 or something. Birth control should be free. Like it should be covered by the government. I think that goes to the Medicare for all, the healthcare for all thing. And to help with teenage pregnancies, every teenager should get a console of their choice.
A video game console?
A video game console or a PC from the government. Okay. I think if you got more activities to do, you're not going to be go out and getting yourself in trouble. You can smash instead of smashing.
What about you, Dave? What was the one you wanted to add?
All drugs legal.
Ooh.
All drugs legal. Legal all over the place. The only thing is, if you get arrested or if you have problems to the point where you're about to die, you have to get help. You have to go into rehab or do whatever time they say, or get whatever help you need so that you don't get put in that position again.
I got one real quick as well. People like Doe who just thought like Doe right now, elimination.
Wow.
No, nigga, all drugs don't need to be legal. Heroin, meth, I can name a couple more. Oxys, all the well, that's medical too, but all them shits are not legal. You're talking about marijuana and all marijuana essence. That's what you're talking about.
There's some research that supports like legalizing all drugs will actually lead to a greater amount of like care for people that have addictions and things like that. I think Oregon's experimenting with that right now, aren't they? Oregon, Washington, one of the places in the Pacific Northwest.
Now, all drugs is legal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, psychedelics and everything. Yeah, I think all drugs should be legal. I don't think there should be.
So,
you should have to get help if you are in trouble.
I don't think so.
So like this is like the idea of what happens, right? You legalize drugs, right? So a lot of the violence that's happening surrounding around like trafficking drugs into the country, spreading that around, people trying to have their own little territory, so they're having a shootout. A lot of that stuff just goes away. And there's not going to be a need to traffic because the shit's already legal. Like the only thing that they could be doing is trying to sell it for a lower price, like bootlegging, right? But yeah, like you kind of eliminate all that criminal aspect of it. Then not only that, now that it's legal, that means it has to be regulated, which means like Joe Schmo that's cutting it over here with like rat poison so that he could make an extra profit. Like those things don't happen as much. So now you kind of get a cleaner drug. Like,
yep.
So then it's not going to have this like all these ODs that be happening because it's getting laced with different things. Like a lot of that stuff goes away. And then with legalization comes normalization. So then it's like people are going to start going like, all right, look, these people that have addictions and stuff, like, maybe we should help them instead of like arresting them. So it's like there's like those aspects. And like I get your concern, Tony, because you're basically saying if you legalize these things, then people are just going to become addicts. Like mad people are going to start taking all these crazy drugs and stuff like that. And that should be a concern that people should have. Absolutely. Which is why I think they're trying, like there's certain studies that seem to indicate that legalization would lead to better outcomes in regards to drugs. And certain people, like, they're testing it out. I think it's worth testing to see because the situation right now is fucked.
I can tell you right now, like the reason that I have not done meth in my life is not because it's illegal and because meth is hard to get or anything. It's because I don't have any interest in doing meth. If you legalize meth tomorrow, I'm not going to go out and do meth because I have no interest in doing it. So I don't think we're going to see a bunch of people going out and be like, well, now that heroin's illegal, I guess I'll give it a try.
There's that the Columbia professor that admitted to doing heroin on his free time as like a way to relax and stuff. A
He probably got
Columbia
that- he-
professor.
He probably got that clean cut shit, not that broke down shit that we
No,
get
from,
from the United States.
from the university, right? Not like Columbia University, not like Columbia, the country.
Correct.
No, Columbia University in New York.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming you meant. Okay.
Not
Yeah.
Colombia. It's Colombia.
I also think, right, that if you're gonna do all that and make it legal, and then you're gonna give these people substance that is pure and small dosage, are they gonna charge these people for this, or is this gonna be free? Is tax people paying for this?
I mean,
What did they do in
the
Oregon?
Drugs still cost money, but they're not illegal anymore.
I would imagine it'd be like the dispensary situation in like legalized states where the government gives some kind of tax percentage of the drugs you're producing, and growing and manufacturing these drugs is, overseen by the government. So there's a meth facility probably out in fucking Arkansas, because they probably already do that shit out there or something. And
Well, if people really wanted to stop drugs coming in from the United States, the government can do that.
no,
Obviously, they
We've been
can't.
failing for years.
yeah,
You
dude.
know why?
there's-
Because they're
there's-
not doing it. They're doing it the nice way.
How do you stop? How do you stop ultralight planes that can't be detected on radar from coming in and just doing drops over the border? Like,
Define the nice way.
there are thousands
You want to get rid of
thousands
the
of
government,
miles of coast to cover. Like, there's no way, dude.
bro. The government, the government can literally track anybody if they really wanted to. If they put their time and effort in, they could track a single fucking person easily be tracked. Once they're tracked, drop a fucking bomb on them and move on. Move to the next nigga on the fucking list. Simple. If y'all want shit done, you fucking eliminate. That's it. Y'all want to get rid of drug dealers? Eliminate.
So
what you
basically,
wanna
what the
do.
guy in the Philippines is doing to drug dealers and drug addicts is killing them. That guy that's in the
Duarte.
Philippines. Yeah.
Eliminate.
So-
That's what you want to do. If you really want to stop it, you go down that list. You make a list.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it. Tony has a good point. Like, if we dropped nuclear bombs all surrounding
whoa.
America, just a lot of nukes, just to create like a radiation zone that completely encompasses the United States. Anybody who passes through, cancer and dies. If we create that, we'll stop all drugs from
man's
entering the
tripping.
country.
Tony
No,
didn't say that.
am I wrong or am I right?
Honestly, I think the solution is we all just need to keep praying for that giant meteor to come and just wipe us all out. That's the
my
change that we
God.
need in this world. Just that big ass meteor coming, boom.
If that happens,
That would get rid of all
that'll
the drug
also
dealers.
stop all drug trafficking into the United States.
I don't think we're gonna need a meteor with the way climate change is affecting us. Fucking all gonna drown first.